All right, guys, it's Coach Bronson here, and I've got the unbreakable Triple J. What's going on?
Not much, man. Not
Not
much.
much. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about Triple J's journey. You got a big, great story to tell. But before we do that, guys, everybody listening, I want to make sure that you remember to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit the little bell in case so you get notified anytime I put out a new video. But most importantly, share this information. The information you're about to receive is going to impact you. It's going to be something that you're going to want to share. So please make sure you share it. The more people we can get information to, the more we can get our stories of transformations and success through diet and nutrition and fitness and all the things that people need to hear, the bigger impact we can have and the more people we can help. So let's get into it. Triple J, how are you today, man? Thanks for being on. I appreciate it. We've been hit or miss the last couple times trying to get this scheduled. So glad we got this hooked up.
It's been nuts.
It's been crazy. Well, you're going crazy right now. You got all kinds of things going on. Somebody told me the other day that everywhere they go, Triple J is there.
I don't know if that's true. Everywhere you go would be a little bit strong.
Yeah. So everywhere they go on the internet, everywhere they go virtually, whether it's Clubhouse or YouTube or Instagram or everywhere I go, the Triple J is there, or somebody's talking about it.
Well, I don't know about all of that, but we'll see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? I think I am in a few places here and there. I move around a good bit. I have a full schedule all the time. It's crazy. It'll probably get more tight as time goes on. But Coach Bronson.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to be here today, that I was able to come and be on your show. You know what I'm saying? So what do you like to hear? What do you want me to tell you?
Well, I want to first off, so we met on Clubhouse first, right? That's kind of where we kind of got to know each other. In case anybody's not sure about Clubhouse, why don't you, I think you could really explain Clubhouse to people so they understand what it is and what it's a new thing. It's super cool. And why should people get into Clubhouse, Triple J? What do you think?
It would probably do better for me to tell my story because Clubhouse is actually in that story.
It's part of that story. Okay. So that's okay. So let's start with this story. So you got a story about, what is your story about?
Well, my story is about, just a guy who had adversities in his life, Let's just be, clear about a couple of things. We all have things that we go through in life. But to kind of segue right into it, I came from a place of, being married, 9 years, 3 kids. And, I even back up just a little bit before that. I think, not yet. Let me stay right there first about the marriage and stuff. So I was married for 9 years, and I actually, after 9 years of marriage, it didn't work out. And so, it was kind of surreal to me because when I grew up, my mother raised me and my sister by herself. So my number one goal when I was, growing up was, hey man, when I get older and I become, a man, and I'm going to go out there and get a family and be a husband and have the kids and the house and the white picket fence, have it all.
Yeah.
And I did for a small amount of time.
And then you did.
And so after 9 years, it did not work out to be that way. So that was not a happily ever after moment of divorce. And so when I got divorced, it devastated me because it was the one thing I wanted. The one thing that I always wanted growing up was to have a family, to be the father, everything, right? And it didn't happen that way,
Yeah.
So, if you look at it and you fast forward, after that happened, I went into a little depression.
Yeah, well, real quick. I think that's interesting because a lot of people have a lot of people have a picture of what they expect out of life, what they expect, what they, where they want to be. I know for me, when I was younger, there was a guy that I worked with that he was the picture of what I didn't want. I
Oh,
didn't want to be 45, single, partying all the time, having different girlfriends, never feeling like I was settled anywhere. And as much as he talked about how fun his life was, you could tell he wasn't happy, he wasn't fulfilled, he wasn't content. He was always looking for something different, something new, something more. And I was like, I don't want that. It's not what I'm looking for. Um, so for me, it was very much the same. Like I wanted to be like, hey, when I'm 40 years old, when I'm 45 or 50, I want to have a wife. I want to have kids. I want to be settled down. I want all this stuff. And then, similar to you, I was married for we were together for 12 years, married for 5. And, 2019, hey, guess what? I'm single. I'm 47 years old and I'm single. It's like, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted to be and where I wanted to
and
be.
I think, Coach, the reason why I go into the details of that, people need to understand when you get into a certain area with your health, and you need to know why, instead of, oh, I'm just unhealthy. No, you need to know why.
Right.
What was the reason? And sometimes for a lot of people, not everybody, but for a lot of reasons, a lot of people, different things happen in their life that make them go into different things like depression and emotional eating. We'll get to that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. Because I was depressed, because I lost the one thing that I always wanted, I went into a cycle, you know, of self destruction. I like wrestling. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that I like wrestling. Everybody knows, right? So the thing is that I went into a cycle of self-inflicted suffering,
Okay.
and so because of that, um, I was just depressed, and I couldn't get unstuck of the loss of my family. Number one, that was the first thing, and so I just kept eating to pacify the pain that I had. You
Yeah.
know, trying to make myself feel good with bluebell ice cream and Oreo cookies and whole bags of potato chips, right? And like whole pizzas that had all the toppings on them, baby.
Oh yeah.
Had all the meat lovers, all the supreme, baby. Had it all. You know, eating, all of that, trying to fill the void of loss.
Mhm.
And so as time went on, because of that, I developed type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And when I developed it, I was in denial. I said, there's no way that Triple J has diabetes. That can't be right. And so I was like, no, that's not me. Not worried about it. So I
Mhm.
continued on. I kept going and my diabetes got worse, kept getting worse. Um, I didn't want to prick my finger. I hated doing that. I
Yeah.
hated the medicine. I hated all of that. Um, I hated being labeled a diabetic. I hated it. It did something to me. So I was in a deeper depression and denial. So that
Yeah.
went on for 11 years. Over the course of
Oh
the
wow.
11 years, yeah,
Dang.
11
Okay.
years, man.
I didn't realize
11.
that. Okay. Wow. That's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Over the course of 11 years of me being in denial, I did self-inflicted suffering on myself.
Mhm.
That was
Mhm.
something I did to myself. I could
Mhm.
have easily, this thing's heavy, y'all. This ain't a toy. It's heavy. So the thing that happened with me is it kept going, the cycle kept continuing every year, same thing. I had blood sugar readings of 3 and 400 when I did check my blood sugar, even 500 at times. When you get to feeling real bad in your body, diabetics know what I'm talking about. You
Mhm.
feel something and you check your blood sugar and it's sky high. And so I remember I kept on anyway, even though that was going on. And my A1C, they were checking it over the years, 12, 13, 14.
Wow.
One time it was above 14 for a while. They couldn't even get a reading on it because it was so high. That didn't scare me. I remember when I went to my job and they told me, hey, you're going to have to get your A1C in check because you're a diabetic. I said, why? Because on our job, we have regulations. You can't just drive a forklift or operate machinery and your
Yeah,
A1C.
you pass out in the middle of like whatever, you know. Yeah,
Exactly. They told me I could not be above a 10. And
mm,
so that didn't scare me. I'm still dude going eating what I want. I was in a bad depression, man. When you lose something that you love and that you didn't want to lose, it
yeah.
does something to you.
I, I know what you
Psychologically,
mean.
I mean, it psychologically, man, I was out of the game.
Yeah,
I hated myself. I
sure.
didn't even want to look in the mirror at myself.
And there's a lot of that has to do with what we were talking about at the beginning. It's the identity, who you want to be. So when you wrap your identity, and this is the one thing that I learned, that one of the biggest takeaways that I got out of my divorce, I had a couple things happen all at the same time. I lost my gym, or I sold my gym, I got divorced, a lot of things changed. But they were all things that I had used to identify myself, right? So when that was gone, I no longer knew who I was. Okay, well, who's Bronson? Well, I'm not the married guy. I'm not the gym owner anymore. Well, crap, that's all I had. So what now? So over the last couple of years, it's been really me trying to figure out my identity based on who I am as a person outside of anything else that I may be attached to, whether it's work, relationships, activities, whatever. Those are things that I do. That's not who I am. So getting to that point where having that identity so that the next time I lose something, I don't go with it.
Exactly, Bronson. And
Right.
that's the
And that's
part we're
something,
gonna get. Now, that's the part we're gonna get to.
yeah.
You're trying to do something to me. You stay right there and you stop it. That, that you hit it on the nail there, but I didn't know who I was, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Even though I was in church, even though I was serving the Lord, even though I was doing all of that, I still
Yeah.
didn't know who I was, you know, because when I lost what I had, it just really, it was like I was dead inside almost. And
Yep.
so let us go the 11 years from the
Hmm.
time I got diabetes. That was 2010. So here we are. Well, let's go to December 2020 for a second. I was there, and like most of us do in December, I was making those resolutions. I'm
Yep.
gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to get my credit right next year. I'm going to pay off bills. I'm
Yeah.
going to have better relationships with my auntie, my uncle, my cousin. I'm going to do better as a better person. I'm not going to have anger and all kind of resolutions we make. I was doing the same thing. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to get control of this diabetes. You know,
Hmm.
January 30th, 2021, I'm laying in my bed. It was a Saturday morning. And I woke up early and my body was in so much pain. And as I laid there, I began to get very, very depressed because it was 30 days into January and I hadn't did nothing I said for December, all those resolutions, had done nothing.
Hmm.
But not
Yeah.
just that time, it was a year cycle. We always say what we're gonna do and don't do it. So I was sitting there and laying there actually, and I was just depressed about it. Not only was I depressed about it, I felt like I couldn't get right. You
Hmm.
know, I know people seen the movie Life. They got that one guy called Can't Get Right. That was me. Can't get right. I'm over here, diabetes, can't improve that. Family gone. I had a negative self talk. I had body dysmorphia. Didn't want to look into the mirror. I hated the image in the mirror because it reminded me of all of the shame, the
Hmm.
guilt, the defeat, the depression, the despair. I could see it in my eyes every time I look in the mirror. So I didn't like looking in the mirror.
Hmm.
And so I was laying there and I was totally defeated. I said, well, what's the use then? I just need to just give up. Ain't nothing gonna ever go right. Ain't nothing gonna change. Just forget it. And I heard a voice that was clear, and strong. And he said, hey, how much longer you go lay there and kill yourself? That was the big man upstairs talking to me. And I rose up with fear in my heart. For the first time in my life, I was really afraid. And I felt like death was on me. I knew if I didn't change today, that I wasn't going to be around here much longer. I knew it. I knew it that day. I said, if I don't do something about this today, man, I ain't going to be here. And my heart was beating so fast, Bronson. I knew it. I felt it. I knew that I was going to die.
Yeah.
And so I sat at the edge of my bed and I told God this. I said, listen, I need to talk to you, just like I'm talking to you now. I sat at the edge of my bed and I told him, I said, look, I don't listen. I can't do this. I've been trying and trying and trying for years. You know, I can't get over the different losses in my life. I can't get over the loss of my family. It hurts. The loss of my wife, you know, the loss of my kids. And the one thing I've always wanted, I don't have anymore. I've never gotten over it. And so I told God I'm bleeding with pain and I can't make the bleeding stop. Yeah. And I said, I'll try to fill the void of loss with food. Anything to make me feel better. And so I told God I needed help because I can't do this. I can't do this at all. I can't. I said, but today, for some crazy reason, I feel like something's different about today.
Okay.
So I told God that I was going to try if he helped me, because I said, I can't do it by myself, but I feel like if you help me, I can do it. Okay. And so that day, I made a promise to him and to myself. I was going to try and he was going to help me. So from that day on, it started to be different. That same day now that happened, because I'm going somewhere with this, the same day that happened, I remember the lady named Marquita Bradford. She was doing this thing called Keto, right? And I was like, I remember she lost a lot of weight after her second baby. Something kept pulling me to her. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, did you want to jump in?
No. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'm letting you go, man. I'm letting you go.
Okay. So I remember that I had talked to her previously, though, a year ago, right? That's why I remembered the word keto, because she was doing keto a year ago. But I remember curious about it. And I said, well, reason why is because I used to be a photographer for years, baby. And so I did pictures for her family, Easter, family pictures, the whole 9 yards. Marquita, all her babies did pictures for them, you know. And so I remembered her because she had her second baby. I did her baby shower. But I remember she lost all that weight because she blew up like really big. She don't mind me telling you this. She's like Wonder Woman. She don't mind. But she shredded all that weight off of her. And so I had asked her about it, and she gave me her book. And I started looking through the book, and I said, wait a minute. This book, it had stuff in there I didn't even recognize, you know. I was looking at cauliflower, what? And looking at fathead dough, what? And I'm looking around and looking at stuff. I said, wait a minute, where's my mashed potatoes at? Where's my mac and cheese? Where is my bread? I didn't see it in this book. And I said, oh my God. So I was at work wrestling with it a little bit. And I went to my doctor. Now, this is what threw me off. Went to my doctor and I asked him, hey, I remember this was a year before, you know, when I found all this out. So I went to my doctor and I said, hey, I'm interested in this thing called keto. They say it's great for people. And I looked at it, say a few things about diabetics. And when I Googled it, what do you guys think? This was my endocrinologist, right? My diabetic doctor.
Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
gonna
Don't
kill
do
you.
it.
You cannot do keto. It's gonna give you high cholesterol. You're gonna have a heart attack. They told me that.
Yep.
So, Bronson, what happened? They scared me away from it a year before that even happened. So I remember I had the book that she had gave me. I put it in my locker at work, and I said, "Forget it," you know. So we fast forward a year later, and so I felt some type of way about contacting her because I had felt like I wasted her time a year before. So I
Okay.
texted her. I said, "Hey, uh, I it's Triple J. I know I talked to you before,
Yeah.
but I'm ready. I'm tired of the way things are going. I feel horrible on the inside of my body. I want to try keto. I just want to try it. What do I have to lose?" And I expected her to say, "Nah, you wasted my time. I ain't studying you." But she didn't do that, Bronson. She didn't turn me away. She didn't give me the cold shoulder. She said, "Sure, Triple J. When do you want to start?" And I said, "Well, today's Saturday. Why don't we start Monday?" She said, "No, we're starting today." I said, "Today?" She said,
Get it.
"Today."
Get it.
And so this watch this now. Well, Marquita, your book that I bought from you is at work, locked up in my locker. So I really can't start today. She said, "No, no, no. That's not an excuse. Get up right now." I said, "What?" She said, "Get up. We're going to the store." "We're going to the store?" "No, you're going to the store. I'm at my son's basketball game. I'm about to text you two recipes right now to get you through the weekend." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yes. Get up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go." I got up, went to this magical, mythical store, called Aldi's. I just thought it was a
Hey,
crazy store. I've been in there before.
seriously though, if anybody's looking for a place to go, like Aldi's is the spot. It's
But listen,
ridiculous. I'm surprised every time I hear something else that they got at Aldi. Like it's crazy.
right. But I'm gonna tell you more. My mindset was not there yet, though, Bronson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
all these first came on the scene here in Alabama, I was like, "What is that?" And I went in there just to take a look. It was like some weird store that didn't have the aisles that I was used to at Walmart
Yep.
or wherever. So I was
Yep.
like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And I got out of there. I thought it was a health nut store. That's how my mindset was back then. But when I went back this time, she said, "Listen, get these things on the list for this recipe. You get them." And so I got the things. I took a picture of it. I'll never forget. I took a picture of her,
Yep.
Bronson. I wanted her to know that I was serious about her investing her time in me this time.
Good.
Sent her a
Okay.
picture. I went home. I followed the recipe. It was for keto taco soup. I'll never forget
Okay.
the first thing I ever made. And so I got to cooking it. And, I followed the directions. I was scared too. I was like, "Oh my God, let me see right there. Okay, right there. A dash of, right there. Tablespoon. Okay, wait a minute. Where's the, okay, right there. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Stir. All right, sir. All right, all right, all right. And then start smelling good in the kitchen, baby. I said, "Oh, wait a minute here." I said, "Yeah, but it smell good, but do it taste good?" Let
hmm
me tell you something, bro. When I tasted this taco soup, it was the most amazing thing I ever tasted. And I texted her. I said, "This can't be healthy. This tastes way too good to be healthy." She said, "No, Triple J, I promise you it's keto." I said, "Well, if
Yep.
everything can be tasty like this, I think I can do this diet. I think I can handle this diet," is what I
Right.
said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that day, I started my journey. But she gave me one thing too that day.
Okay.
And this was January 2021. She gave me her last Clubhouse invite, and she told me to
Ah.
download the app. And I said, "Well, what is that?" And she said, "It's an app. I already got a lot of apps on my phone, Marquita. I don't have room." "Well, you better delete some stuff and put this app on your phone." So I made room, put that app on my phone. She said, "Find this group called Keto for the Soul. I need you to join it and get in every room that they have." And so I did. I got on there that day.
hmm
That day, I got on January 30th, 2021. I got on there. I started listening to people as I was as I was moving around and eating and kind of cooking a little bit. And I was listening to different people that were having the same battle that I was having, going through some of the same things that I was going through. And I was like, holy Moses, what is this app? It was like having a podcast in my ear.
Yeah.
So that day was the beginning of my journey. That day, I found Keto and I found Clubhouse the same day.
Yeah.
And
And,
so,
and,
go ahead.
and the Clubhouse thing is different than any other app because it's real-time interaction. It's not a post and then you got to wait 3 days to see if anybody responds, right? It's you're in there and you're talking to people right there. Like you're it's like
The
you're in the
way
same room with people.
it's almost like back in the 80s when they had the party lines,
Yeah,
or the
there you go.
70s,
Yep.
what they call it, party lines. This was a big, gigantic party line. Everybody was on there. Everybody could talk. You had stages with different people on there. You had people in the audience. It was like a show. And they
Yeah.
had different topics on. You could sit there. You could, if you had questions, you could raise your hand. I sat in the crowd for a little bit, but I remember raising my hand that day. I don't know why. I raised my hand.
Yeah.
I remember going up, and it was crazy that I was able to kind of resonate with some of these people like right off the bat. It was
Mhm.
nuts. I was like, wow. Clubhouse, and I'm not exaggerating to you people out there in YouTube land, but Clubhouse is a tool that is changing people's lives.
Absolutely.
Because in real time,
Absolutely.
you're making connections, you're networking with people, you're becoming friends with people. People are helping each other, motivating each other, encouraging people. I know there's a lot of other stuff that goes on Clubhouse as well, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about all of the good stuff that I have found on it.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. There's
all of
plenty
the
of there's plenty of diamonds. There's plenty of diamonds out there. And
yeah,
and it's different again because there's a lot of communities, right? There's plenty of groups on Facebook. There's plenty of Discord channels. I mean, there's all kinds of other apps and things. But the thing about Clubhouse is, and anybody that's watching this, I highly recommend checking it out, is you get real-time interaction with other people who are going through the same thing as you. So if you're feeling down right this minute, you can get into a room somewhere and say, guys, I feel down right now. I don't feel like I can do this. I'm struggling. I need help. And there will be somebody there who will help support you and give you that positive feedback and give you some ideas and keep you going and just let you know that you're not alone and it's okay. Everybody struggles. Like it's like a right now, right here. I'm going through something this minute. I need help. And your tribe is there. If anybody, I talk all the time about some of the things that you need to get started. And one of the things that you need to start this journey and be successful long term is a tribe, is you need a group of people who are going through it, who have been through it, who are willing to support you, that you can share and support them and have a whole 360 interaction of the journey with each other. And that's what Clubhouse is all about.
and so you have so many people on this app that are coaches, that are leaders.
Yep.
So many people that have experience in what you've gone through, and for them to be on this app for free,
Yep.
pouring into people every chance they get because they want to serve. And I think people take that for granted. If you can't afford a coach, you better download Clubhouse and find whatever topic you want, and it's right there. But what we don't do
Yep.
is take advantage of it. I had Clubhouse in my ear for almost a year now. Almost a year now. And there are other spaces I'm in also besides Keto,
Sure.
but I'm telling you where I started. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
reason why I'm telling people that is it's a place where you really can grow and learn. If you're a photographer, they got that. If you're a podcaster, they got that. If you're a
Yep.
chef, they got that. If you sell jewelry, they got that. If you sell Avon, they got that. They got a lot on Clubhouse. They really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just talking about selling, but if you got where you want to learn about NFTs, you want to learn about Bitcoin, you want to learn about video games, want to be a video gamer, they got that on there. They got so much on Clubhouse that is ridiculous. They're gonna figure it out and probably charge us a little bit.
Yeah.
erase that. No. Keep it free. Keep it free.
Keep it free. Keep
But
it free.
what's crazy, Bronson, is that I'll share the rest of this part of the story. The Clubhouse part was very important. If I
Mhm.
didn't have Clubhouse, the next thing that I'm about to tell you would have never happened.
Okay.
So as I began to every morning come to Clubhouse and go throughout the day with Clubhouse in my ear,
Yeah.
I started to still do the things that Marquita told me to do as far as eating. She kept it simple for me. She didn't do a whole lot of to throw the whole keto Bible at me. She said, we're
Right.
keeping this simple, dude. Protein, healthy fats, healthy oils. Let's cook, make stuff taste good, season it well. Let's eat, baby. That's what she did for me. I just started doing that. My first week of doing keto, now you got to remember, I told you my blood sugar used to be 3, 4, and even 500 at times. But
Yeah.
my first week of doing keto, my blood sugar dropped dramatically. By the end of the week, my blood sugar was like at 160, 150.
Wow. That's crazy.
And so I said, I'm going to die. My blood sugar used to be 2 and 3 and 400. All of a sudden now it's down in the 150s. What's going on? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to die. Elizabeth, it's the big one. I'm coming. That's how I felt, Bronson. So I told myself, Jay, once I figured out what your regular blood sugar is supposed to be, I said, let's
Right.
just keep a check on it, because I was scared because the doctors told me a year before that I was
Yeah.
going to die, heart attack, all of that. So I said, well, we're going to check the blood sugar the right way, like I was supposed to be. I checked it fasting,
Okay.
2 hours after breakfast, 2 hours after lunch, 2 hours after dinner.
There you go.
I was
Yep.
checking 4 times a day. I did that consistently. So
Mhm.
listen to this, 2.5 months later, blood sugar was down
Yeah.
100, 112 or 98 sometimes, stayed down.
Okay.
I went back to the doctor. It was April, maybe the second week of April.
Yep.
Went back and they took my A1C. Now, I had always had going over with the A1C was always up there, always way past what it was supposed to be. And so here we are sitting in April. It wasn't even 3 months yet. It wasn't 3 months yet if
Yeah.
you look at the math. And so they took my A1C and it was a 6.6.
Wow.
I got the medical records to back up what I'm saying. And I said, and I didn't know
That's
that. I didn't want to know
impossible.
about. I'm gonna tell you what they told me. They said, wait a minute. And they looked at my chart. They said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm just trying to, eat a little better.
Keto.
I didn't say that yet. Easy. Remember the last doctor that said it?
Yep. Yep.
Put me
Yep.
down. So now that I was believing in keto and trying to do it, I didn't want to tell them keto. I just said, I'm cutting out a lot of my sodas and breads, and they were like,
Mhm.
what? Well, keep doing it, Jay. You're doing a good job. I was like, yeah. Is it not the same thing? I think it is, but I
Yeah.
digress.
It's
So
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
6.6. So 6.6 was crazy. I had got another victory that day too. For the first time in over a decade, I was up under 300 pounds. My heaviest was 365. I
Okay.
think when I went to the doctor that day, I was 275.
Wow.
So I think when I started keto, I might have been 320, 325, something like that. My mistake was when I first started, I didn't get on the scale. It's crazy.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so really, it could have been anywhere in there, but I know I was way over 300 pounds when I
Okay.
started keto.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the first time in over a decade, I was up under 300 pounds. That was another victory for me. So I was waiting for the shoe to drop as far as when you do stuff, you're like, it just lasts for a while. You're going to gain it all back. You're going to go back in reverse. I was waiting for it. And I said, nah, something's different about today. And I was at my doctor's appointment and I was outside in the parking lot and I was shaking my head. I said, this is amazing. And so like a lunatic, I'm in the parking lot like, yeah, yes, yes. I mean, I was celebrating in the parking lot. I was celebrating because here I was coming to my 43rd birthday
Yep.
and I was getting my health right. I felt
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
because it never happened before. So it's a fluke, right?
Yep.
Oh, I set an appointment on purpose for October the 30th, 2021. That
Okay.
was 6 months from the time I started. Something was different about that day. I don't know. I just
Mhm.
was feeling it. I got up that morning. Let me tell y'all something. I got up that morning. I was ready. I took off work. I put on my Stacey Adams linens. You know, my no, that was Steve Harvey. Forgive me, Steve Harvey. Forgive me, baby. I had on his linen suit. Forgive me, Steve. But I
You
had
put
on
on a
the
suit.
Stacey alligators on my feet, though, baby. I thought I was Ric Flair that day. The alligators, baby, couldn't stay down, you know. So I went to the
Woo!
doctor's appointment, baby. Woo! Yes. I went to the doctor's appointment smiling. I've never smiled before going to a doctor's appointment before in my life.
Yep.
I went in there, I was clean. I was clean, baby, head to toe. I had on the good smell goods, Bronson. Couldn't tell me nothing. And I ain't
You
talking
got
about
pictures. You
chemical
got pictures,
stuff.
right?
I got pictures of that. I have to show
All
you.
right.
But
Okay.
I went in there, I stepped in there, I sat and I waited. And I said, you know what? Today feel different. I felt with anticipation. I don't know why. I was just like,
Mhm.
man, I've been doing good. Let's see what happens today. And so you got to remember, I come from a place of not understanding diabetes at all. So I didn't really know what was going to happen. So I
Yeah.
go in there, they took my A1C. They said, Mr. Johnson, do you know what your A1C is today? I said, no. What is it? Tell me. Mr. Johnson, your A1C is 5.5.
What?
And it is? Well, what does that mean? Because I remember I didn't know about diabetes, didn't really want to know.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Johnson, we can't say cured around here, but what we can say is that you put your type 2 diabetes in remission. You're no longer in the diabetic range or the pre diabetic range. I was like,
Gone.
really? I felt like I was in the Matrix, dude. Like, not the Matrix we get in Clubhouse when your phone reception bad. I'm talking about Keanu Reeves Matrix. I felt like I was in the Matrix.
Well, you were dressed like Morpheus, so
I was sharp. I was sharper than a box of knives in a box of razor blades. That's how sharp I was that day, baby. Woo! I digress. But so when they told me that, it was a surreal moment for me because I could not believe it.
right.
I said, you mean to tell me after all these years of having type 2 diabetes, I just went 6 months of changing what was on my plate? Really? And I was just totally, totally floored by it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for the non-believers that are in the back, 3 more months later after that, and did I say that number right? Make sure I did that right. When I went back, it was 6 months. That was July 30th, but I went back
Hmm.
October after that.
Okay. Okay.
Went back for another visit, still 5.5. All
That's
by
awesome. And so
eating.
how long's it been
They
now?
took me off my diabetic medicine too, Bronson, after 6 months. They took me off
Oh, yeah.
because I was controlling my blood sugar and A1C by what I ate.
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy, right? It never ceases to amaze me how shocked doctors are that nutrition matters when it comes to health.
I can't say the next controversial part. You might get thrown off YouTube.
Say it.
You sure?
Say it.
Okay, guys, here's the part that a lot of people don't want me to tell. When they took my A1C and they looked at it and they started talking to me about my medicine, I told them, I said, well, wait, doctor, I must be honest with you. I stopped taking my medicine in February.
Mhm.
And they said, well, who told you to do that? That's not right. I said, well, I said, here's the thing,
I
y'all.
told me to do that.
I told them, I said, well, let me ask you a question. This is my body, right? They said, yes. I said, so I wanted to do an experiment on myself. I said, if the body is capable of healing itself, And if I do what's right with eating, I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yep.
But I religiously checked my blood sugar every day
Sure.
because I was afraid of the doctor's first diagnosis that they gave me.
Correct. Yep.
But so they said, so you mean to tell me since February you haven't taken no medicine? I said, nope. I looked at the bottles, I put it on my shelf, and I said, I'm not taking them no more. I said, God is able
Good
to
for
heal
you.
my body. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to see if it's true. I
Mhm.
said, so let's see if it works. And so they said, so you're telling us all this time you wasn't taking your metformin? I said, no. So they said, well, Mr. Johnson, so this is a natural A1C? I said, yes. They said, well, we might as well not even have you take your medicine no more then.
Well, yeah, I already decided not to take it, so you can say that all you want, but yeah.
Well, they one doctor wasn't happy about it. The other one was ecstatic. They were like, yeah, I can't believe this. Wait till I tell everyone. They were
Right.
happy to tell everybody about this. The other doctor was like, well, I don't know. So the moral of the story is this. If you give your body a break from all the garbage that you're eating and start eating whole foods, since all
Yep.
you people hate the word keto, okay,
Yeah.
then if you start eating whole foods and stop eating all the garbage and all of the crap, your body can heal itself.
Isn't
For
it
all of
crazy
you
how
that don't like the word keto, I'm serious because I hear
no,
them
it's
bash it so much and say
oh
and
my
say such
God.
horrible things. They
It's
say such
crazy.
horrible things, Bronson.
I
Such
know.
horrible things.
I
I'm just
it's it
I
it's
I
it
just
is
had to say,
absolutely crazy how one word. So here's the deal. It's even crazier. So this is it's human nature, society today. So 10 years ago, if I went into a room and I said, "Hey guys, I'm starting CrossFit," everybody looked at me like, "You are out of your mind, absolutely ridiculous, don't even do it." If I walked into a room and I said, "Hey guys, I just started a fitness program where I'm learning how to do barbell stuff and I'm getting some metabolic conditioning and we change up the workouts every day," nobody would have had a problem, right? Today, if I go into a room and I say, "Hey, I'm doing keto," everybody's freaking out. If I go into that same room and I say, "Hey guys, I'm cutting out processed food, I'm cutting out seed oils, I'm trying to reduce my carb intake so that I can get more natural whole foods, and I'm focusing on eating red meat and protein," but I don't say keto, nobody has a problem.
and watch this, Bronson. Remember the first time when I talked to a doctor and said the word keto, what happened?
Yeah. Yep.
This time we talked about it at that 6 month mark, July 30th.
Hmm.
They asked me what was I doing to have these results. And I said, you know what? I stopped eating all of the carbs and sugars. I left a lot of bread, too much bread. And I
Yeah.
started eating whole foods like vegetables and cooking my proteins and baking them and air frying them and not having all of these different things on them, all the fried stuff, all of the sodas. I stopped it. All of the
Yep.
cookies and ice cream. I kind of cut back from all that. You know what they
Yep.
said? That's amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Is that not the same thing as keto?
Same thing. Absolutely.
Excuse me, I couldn't hear. Is that the same thing?
That is absolutely the same thing.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
for all
And it's
you
not just
people
for the
that say,
doctors. Yeah. And it's
yep,
not just for the doctors, right? It's for everybody watching this, right? For
every one
anybody
of you
watching
that's
shows that
every one of you
get
listen,
bashed all the time. If
listen.
you're getting bashed for doing keto, it's okay. Event, it's okay. Eventually, people are going to start looking at keto and being like, "Oh, you're keto? Me too." That's where it's going. That's where it needs to be. So you're
That's
just
where it
ahead of the
needs to be,
curve.
buddy, because I think now, I think now people are starting to accept it now. Because now keto is on everything in the grocery store.
Uh, do we want to go there
That's
and
a
talk
whole
about
nother
that?
podcast, y'all.
That's a whole
That's
nother.
a whole nother, I'm not even going there today with Bronson, but that's a whole nother podcast. Y'all would be mad if we did that. We'll do that on
Well,
part two.
we can do that on part two.
Oh wow.
It's super
How
easy.
did I
It's
how did I invite myself a part two, y'all? I'm sorry, y'all.
hey, we'll do
Forgive me, YouTubers.
we'll do part two on your channel. How's that work?
so
Oh, speaking of
so
which, I got a
go.
segue. I got a segue. We never talked at the beginning about the name of this episode is going to be and why.
Tell everyone the name of this episode.
So this is Keto Chocolate, in case anybody watching. If you made it this far into this episode, we're 40 minutes in or so, you have just been listening to 40 minutes of Keto Chocolate talking about Lily's chocolate and his diet,
Lily's.
his journey, Lily's and his journey. So
The only
I got it.
chocolate that
What's
we
another
produce.
brand? What's another good keto brand of chocolate
I
besides
haven't found
Lily's?
one. Lily's has been well, I'm in Alabama, man.
Everybody does Lily's, right?
Listen, we're in Alabama, so for me to have half of the keto stuff that we have is amazing. Because some in other states and other cities, they have all kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, why can't I get it?
Yeah,
So Amazon. But
gotcha.
so far, Lily's, man. I love Lily's. I don't eat it all the time, but when I want like a little, I go give it some Lily's chips, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or a Lily bar, but I try not to go too wild on that because listen, I've had a lot of success without doing a whole lot of keto snacks since I've been doing this.
Yeah. Well, most of you probably, you'll have more success the longer you stay away from them.
But some of them. I've been trying my best to be like,
it's hard. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there that's great. Again, discussion for this for part 2. So where are you at now? So it's been how long exactly that you've been doing it? That you've been following keto?
According to Ric Flair's Rolex, not just playing. I am 8 days away from doing this for a year.
Nice. Awesome, dude. That's fantastic.
8 days.
Any plans on reintroducing carbs?
Well, I've tried to introduce some just to kind of see how it does for my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that I can process them better now as far as my body can burn them better. And they don't spike my insulin like they used to. But to be honest, let me tell y'all something. This just be off the record. Well, it's on the record. With me and my body, I feel kind of bad sometimes when I try to do it because I can tell when something tastes funny, my body it reacts to it now. So a lot of carbs feel like I have a hangover.
Sure. Absolutely.
Carbs now, a lot of carbs feel like I have a hangover.
100%.
They feel like I've been in a car wreck.
Yep.
I'm serious. And they really feel like that. So I watch that, like, transparency. And I don't care if y'all don't like it or not. My mama cooked chicken and dressing, and I had some because it's my mama. And do I care what y'all think? No, because it's my mama. Barbara Johnson. Her dressing is the best.
Well,
so Thanksgiving, I had a dressing. So there.
Yep. Yeah.
But
there you go.
I had a little bit. I had a little bit now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's okay. I had a little cheesecake over the holidays. It's okay.
Exactly. So I had a little dressing. I said,
cheesecake.
Mama, thank you. No to-go plate. But thank you. And so I did that, but now my body's processing them better, but I still lean towards the keto side of things, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's still my home because I know what it does for my insulin and my insulin, my blood sugar. So that's what I do. So
let me ask you.
Here's another thing.
No, good.
Here's
good.
another
good.
thing. I guess the next thing that I'm doing now, because it's almost been a year, I got a few things lined up for this year, trying to do some things, different. So, all of that weight I lost and the diabetes remission and all of that was done without exercise.
Yeah.
So now I'm exercising now, trying to do some exercise.
Get it?
So that, and I got plans to write a book. I have plans to do my first 5K in August.
Love it.
I got a lot of things on my plate that I want to do this year. Some things I got to cross off for me. Sure. I've been doing things for other people for a long time, really all my life, doing things for other people and considering their feelings and what they want. But now it's time for the heavyweight champion of the world to do the things that he wants to do. And there's some things that I've got to conquer and dominate, and I have to do it. That may not be popular with everybody, but I've got to. There's some things
Yeah,
that I've
no.
got to do, man.
Yeah, get
I
it.
feel like I've got to cross them off, man.
I mean, that's important. It's important to do things for yourself. I want to talk real quick, if you got a minute, to talk about the difference between and what you think. So the doctors can't use the word cured, right? Um, what do you
That's what I was told.
consider your diabetes in? Like, do you consider it just in remission? So, because the way I look at it is the cause of the disease is no longer present. The disease is no longer present. In my opinion, you are cured. That's how I look at it. It's not in
I'm going to
regression.
say this. I'm going to say this word is what I believe. I am
Yeah.
healed.
Okay. Okay. I like
The
that. I
reason I
like
say
that
that is that's what I
for
came
sure.
up with. Even though the doctor
Yeah.
said what
Yeah.
they said, in my brain, I was like, "You're healed, dude. You're healed."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But with
I like
anything,
that.
keep your healing. If I'm healed and I go back to doing all the damage again, I'm not healed anymore.
Well, you know
Because
what?
with
I like that. Yeah, I like that even more because I'm thinking about that. Being healed focuses on your state of being, not the state of being of the disease. When you say cured, you're talking about the state of the disease. That state of disease doesn't exist in your body. So your body is healed.
that's
I
just
like
like
that.
if you
I like that.
that's like if you have a cut, it takes time to heal.
Yeah.
If you give it
Yeah.
enough time, it heals all the way. But if you interrupt the process of healing, that wound opens back up.
Yep. Yep. I like that.
So my
Okay.
thing is this: keep doing the
I'm healed.
things, keep myself healed.
Gotcha. So whatever state of the disease you want to put it or classify it, if you are healed, you are healed. That's it. I like it. I like that a lot. So okay, we're gonna segue a little bit. Um, go completely off the rails, not specifically keto related, but we've both been through some similar things. We both had some relationship stuff. We're going to talk about relationships and things like that. And it's been brought to my attention twice in the last 24 hours. So I feel like we need to talk about it. And that is along the lines of things you need to do for yourself, right? You just talked about what your goals are for this year and things you want to accomplish and dominate at. Um, how important is it when you're looking for a relationship? Right? Because there's two ways that I want to go with this. One is for anybody watching who's in a relationship, who is trying to do this, trying to go on this journey, and their spouse or partner may or may not be supportive, right? Or someone who is single like you, who is looking for someone who would love to be in a relationship and is looking to meet someone, but you have prerequisites because you're on this journey. So you're looking for someone who's on a journey, been on a journey, understands the journey, is supportive of the journey, and supportive of you on that journey,
Yeah.
right? Give me some thoughts on that.
You know, this discussion has gone on for about a year now when it
Yeah,
comes to me, but it has nothing really to do with keto for real. It does
yeah,
and it
yeah.
doesn't. It does and it doesn't
Sure.
because you have to have somebody in your life that's going to be supportive of you, and that goes with your health,
Hmm.
your wealth, with your mental, with your physical, supportive. In turn, you do the same thing. If a person cannot be supportive of you in those areas, it's a it's a bad fit in a puzzle. You're
Hmm.
trying to find the right pieces to fit in the puzzle, and
Yeah,
so now you have a piece that doesn't fit, and now you're trying to make it fit, and now you have some problems.
right.
So, in my view, you have to have someone that's supportive of you in those areas.
Hmm.
Because if I hypothetically got with someone that brought fried chicken into the house every day from Popeyes
Right.
and the mashed potatoes and the gravy and the Cajun rice. Yes, I had it blacked out for a minute. But yes, if I have a person bringing all of that in the house
Hmm.
and I'm trying to live my lifestyle that I'm trying to live, but they're like, they're not, they're going to do them. That's fine. But I
Right.
think a better fit would be finding someone that's aligned with where you are here
Yep.
and here.
Yep.
And if
Yep.
they're not aligned in those two areas with you, that may present a problem down the line. It may. I know a lot
Yep.
of people that do it.
Sure.
Some people don't
Sure.
struggle with it. Some people are perfect harmony with it. It depends on the person. Me
Yeah.
personally, coming from a place of the diabetes in 11 years, that's my non-negotiable. At least let the person be low carb. My God, at least that. My
And
goodness,
that's,
can I have that?
yeah, right. And
Like,
so from being single and looking for somebody, I'll just say I completely agree with your stance on this is what I'm looking for, and if that's not there, then this ain't happening. From the standpoint of if someone's in a relationship already and they discover this journey and they start on that journey and their spouse or partner's not on board with the changes or whatever, that doesn't mean that relationship needs to end. There may need to be some discussions and
yes,
parameter changes and boundaries set and some things like that. But that's another reason, that's another scenario where finding a tribe can help, right? That's another, it's not just about you need this because you need a group of people. There's circumstances where that group of people may be only people, the only area that you have to go to express yourself and be part of something to keep you moving forward. So having a tribe is super important for that.
listen, man. To be honest, it wasn't nobody doing keto for real in this town, but my coach, Marquita. So at that time, I really had nobody really to talk to. She's busy.
Yeah,
She's got kids, husband, and all that stuff. She's good people, but I didn't want to bother her and burden her all the time with a bunch of questions.
sure.
So my tribe was important because I could go in there and unload and ask questions, have rooms, and have a good time and learn and kind of
Hmm.
let off steam and therapy sessions and all kind of stuff. They talked
That's
me off
awesome.
the ledge one day. I was in there wanting to do some keto, some keto sweets. I was going to do it. I had bought all the ingredients for the keto cookies. I was doing it. I had it all. And all the ladies was like, well, Triple J, have you been doing this journey without keto snacks? I said, yeah, I have. Well, I'm going to tell you from my perspective, because I've done it. It's a
Yeah.
slippery slope, Triple J.
Yes, it
Don't do
is.
it, Triple J. Listen to me. I know. Don't do it. Don't open that door. I had somebody tell me that. Then I had
Yeah.
another lady. Well, Triple J, if you've been this successful right now, yeah, maybe give it some more time before you hit it like that. This was like my third month in. You know,
Yep. Yep.
having a
Well,
tribe is important because you may not have nobody physically there to really help you. Now, my coach is right up the road from me, like for real, 15 minutes. But I respect her and her family time. She's a very busy lady, church, all that stuff,
yeah.
job, all that. So I understand. So, your tribe, what I'm saying, on Clubhouse, man, is great. I mean, they replaced the physical person for me. Now, there are people now in town that do keto. Great, But before, man, folks weren't trying that. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Even though I had my coach,
Hmm.
even though I had Clubhouse, I still had to do the work because
Absolutely.
faith without works is dead.
Yep.
There is no way that I could have done any of this if I didn't have a massive mindset shift. And I had to wake up and realize who I was. I
Hmm.
started going to the Mirror Bronson and telling myself that I am important, that I do have value.
I love it.
Yes, you made some mistakes. You're forgiven of all of that now,
Yes, sir.
Jonathan Johnson. You're forgiven of all of that. We're going forward now. No more blame game, no more pity party. That's over with. And I
Yep.
started going to the mirror and telling myself, hey, I love you. Even though I was a big guy, I was like, I love you, Triple J. You are the man.
Yeah. I'm a
You're
big
the man.
I'm a big fan of self-talk. I've got a mantra that I say to myself every morning just to kind of reaffirm who I want to be because it's about identity. And I think if people can realize that I was just telling you earlier, I did a episode, a podcast or video with Dr. Mila earlier today, and we were talking about identity and why. If the reason why you're doing this, and I'll just say this same thing I said on her thing. If you have a conversation with somebody about why you're doing this and you're not emotional, then that's not why you're doing it.
Yeah. You know why you know why I'm emotional and passionate about this? Because my why is I didn't want to die.
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to be here long enough to walk my daughters down the aisle for their wedding. I wanted to be around here long enough to watch my son graduate college. I wanted to be here long enough to hold my first grandbaby in my hand.
Mhm.
That was my why. And so that was strong enough for me to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so as I look at some things now, and I just got a message from my workout person that I'm supposed to be working out with in a few seconds. And that's what's important. My why is stronger now, and that's part of my next leg of my journey, to incorporate exercise and to get more healthy. I want it to
All
be
right.
where they see me and they know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm changed. Now they know because I tell them, but they go know because they go see it. When I
I love
walk
it.
into a room, they go see it.
I love
They're
it.
gonna know my identity is different now. Bronson, hold on. I don't think people know who I am. Let me
Oh,
tell
yeah.
them.
I thought you were going to start with that. Let's get it.
No. See, they don't know who I really am. But I must tell them who I am, baby. I am the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Your fire breathing, keto eating, diabetic defeating champion, the people's champion. What people? My people that know me, that love me. My people, baby. They're a champion who will win every day that he wakes up. Because the unbreakable one said so. And that is the bottom line. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
felt
gosh.
good, baby. Woo!
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thanks for being on, man. I appreciate it. That's a great way
Okay.
to end. That's making it, that's a clip. That's going into the whole thing. That's what everybody's going to see. I'm cutting that for sure. I am cutting that for
It
sure.
feels good to be the champion, baby. I tell myself that every day. You know why? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me take these off for real, because y'all know I gotta wear my glasses. I really can't see. So put on my real glasses. I'm trying to get too happy right there. But what I'm trying to tell you is that everybody knows I like wrestling. If you didn't know,
Mhm.
now you know.
Now you
But the
know.
reason why, even though I came up in the 80s watching wrestling, but that wasn't it. The thing was is that I compare my life that I have lived for the last year to a continual wrestling match where I
Mm.
wrestle with my old self. I wrestle with the past. I wrestle with the person that says, you're not good enough. You're not going to be anything. You don't have a voice. You don't have value. I wrestle with that person. But every day I wake up, and when I have those thoughts in my head, I said, hey, how can you win when I have already won? I am the heavyweight champion of the world.
There you
And you
go.
can't defeat me because you are already defeated. I talk to
Love
that
it.
voice that's in the mirror, that's in your head. I talk to it, you know? So
Absolutely.
listen,
Absolutely. That's
Bronson, I
awesome,
can't
man.
say no more. I can't say no more. I feel like I'm on a wrestling promo right now. I feel like Vince McMahon or Jim Ross to interview me or
So
something,
where can people find you, Triple J?
They can find me at my mama's house. My mama's house. You can find me there. No, y'all, forgive me. You can find me on Clubhouse, Unbreakable JJJ. You can find me on Instagram, the Unbreakable underscore Triple J. You can find me on a lot of different platforms. Later on, you'll be able to find me on my YouTube and my podcast that I'm relaunching. So you'll be able to find me in a lot of places.
Okay, awesome. And I'll put that stuff at the bottom of the description, but appreciate you being on, man. We'll definitely do some more stuff together, and hope you have a great evening.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. The champ is here, baby. Let me make one thing clear. The champ is here.